We are live 364 days a year.
What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I've told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made on YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How do you not get sushi after Monday Night Raw?
Welcome to Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast, a show where a rotating cast of wrestling fans from around the world come and share and debate their opinions, with live comments from all of you shown throughout, as after all, fans are what makes wrestling so special. So sit back, grab a beverage and enjoy the show. Good evening, wrestling fans. I'm Ben Allison and you are watching Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast, and we have a lot to discuss today because AJ Styles is officially returning on tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. But is he just going to say goodbye in his hometown, or is he going to be unretiring? We are going to be talking about it. Plus, the Blake Monroe and Clark feud is seemingly continuing, or at least that's how I took it. We'll get into that in a little bit as well. And Randy Orton is not too happy with Tom Brady. Meanwhile, the mainstream media are very happy with Trick Williams. We're going to talk about all of that. And joining me to do so, we have Clark Taylor and Dez. And let's get straight into things, lads, because actually, first of all, I need to address something. DCX Warlord, happy Mailbag Monday, WR crew. I was so busy today, I completely forgot about these questions until it was too late. So I've just done some news topics instead, and we do have some good news, so we are sorted. But let's kick things off talking about AJ Styles, because I was very upset when he retired a few weeks ago, Clark. But tonight, is he back, or just back for the night? It's all a little bit bizarre.
Back is a tough one to deal with here, Ben, because back would be awesome, but I just don't think that that's going to be the case. I don't think AJ's taking a bump tonight. I just don't buy it. I understand why we're doing it. It does feel a little bit like saving face from the initial reaction headed out of his actual retirement match with Gunther. If we're really being honest with ourselves, let's be honest. I think tonight we see a lot of AJ-centric highlights and whatnot, maybe a promo. I don't think we're setting up anything for the future here, and I still believe we'll see him in September.
You just said right then you don't think it's setting up anything tonight. Well, that is where I disagree with you, Clark, because I do think this is setting up something tonight. I think this is setting up something huge tonight, as I think this is setting up Gunther's WrestleMania match. Now, I do agree with you. I don't think it's going to be against AJ Styles, but Gunther is 100% going to come out and take out AJ Styles. But who will be there to stop him? That's the question. And Des, I want to get your perspective.
Yeah, for sure. So I also want to say I agree. I don't think AJ Styles is going to unretire tonight. He already did it in 2024 when he was facing Cody with the whole thing going on. I think Dragon Lee is going to make the save tonight. I feel like Gunther Dragon Lee is going to be the next step towards the next match, which he's going to have at WrestleMania, which will be against Rey Mysterio. I feel like it kind of connects, right? AJ Styles, Dragon Lee, they were a tag team together. Dragon Lee, he's a lucha. He was together with Penta and Rey Mysterio. So then I feel like all roads lead to Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania.
I mean, honestly, Des, I did a video last week on this very channel talking about my 5 most likely WrestleMania opponents for Gunther, and number 1 was Rey Mysterio, so I am on the same page as you. But Clark, you had a theory, and it was at News Theory as well a few weeks ago on this very show, about potentially doing Gunther versus Pat McAfee for the career of Michael Cole. What if tonight on Raw, Michael Cole is the one doing this celebration with AJ Styles, and Gunther takes out AJ Styles? Michael Cole's trying to stop him or whatever. Dragon Lee makes the save or something. Then next week, Gunther destroys Dragon Lee, and that's when Gunther goes back up to Michael Cole once again, Pat McAfee happens. Could you see that happening?
I kid you not. It scares me to death, and I said that the first time, but I'm afraid that is a logical route. It makes a ton of sense. I don't know if Michael Cole is necessarily ready to retire. And I'm not trying to wish retirement upon Michael Cole. I think he's having one of the best string of years of his career. Michael Cole has really found he's always been great. on the microphone. He's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer no matter what. I mean, it's not even close. But the last few years, he seems to be having more fun than he's ever had in this job. So the last thing I want to do is try to push Michael Cole out of the industry. But man, if you wanted to build Gunther being that type of villain, taking away not only John Cena, but AJ Styles, and then following that with Michael Cole, that's a murderer's row. That's 1927 Yankees starting lineup batting order type stuff. And then you add in the potential of Mysterio, as Des mentioned. There's a list with Randy Orton as well. My only fear is, are we going to get sick of retirements? And that's where, to me, Cole actually makes more sense than some of the others. Because if it's Cole immediately Mysterio, I think it might be go away heat with Gunther in that regard. The Cole one, I think we might just get emotional about, and I don't know why. I don't have a why for that, but that's just what my gut instinct tells me. It looks like nobody can project the future, but if I was to, that's how I feel about it.
I mean, it is a difficult one because I do think you're right. In fact, I think they've already done one too many. He retired John Cena, possibly in the world title scene. It should have been as simple as that, and they haven't done it. And I do think they are doing this ridiculously, in my opinion, stupid retirement gauntlet idea. And I understand some people like it. I don't. And it's going to all lead to a blow-off match with Randy Orton, career... But, Randy Orton's career on the line. I'm presuming if Gunther loses, he can't do any more retirement matches for the rest of his career or something stupid like that. And I do think Gunther will retire Orton. With that being said, I think that's at least a year away. And I do think Brock Lesnar, Rey Mysterio, maybe Michael Cole are all going to be first. But the thing is, and this is what I keep coming back to ever since Ant, you said it on this very show a few weeks ago. They have been teasing something all year, even a couple of weeks ago on Raw, between Gunther and Michael Cole. And it's continued. And Gunther even said to Michael Cole a few weeks ago before that AJ Styles match that he wants to retire Michael Cole. And I just don't understand why on earth they would be planting those seeds if they weren't actually going to lead to something. And I just cannot get my head around Michael Cole retiring this early. It feels like he has multiple years left in him. But it's weird. It really is weird, Des.
No, I think it is weird, but I also feel like Michael Cole's been there since the get-go, right? He's already been in the business for probably 40 so years already, I want to say. Maybe probably less around there, but near the Attitude Era too. So
would it be? I mean, it'd be 30, wouldn't it?
30, yeah. I want to say, yeah, because he's been as consistent as ever. He's already mentioned, outside of a few things, the guy never takes a day off. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I would be. I feel like it depends because what kind of direction the WWE want to go with the commentary table? Because I feel like Michael Cole, he's one of the best that they have there. Right? He's always been as consistent, right? Maybe back then he was pretty unsufferable, but I feel like a lot of that has to do because he wasn't very genuine. But now he's genuine. He's having a good time. He makes a lot of good calls. So I mean, unless for the emotional aspect where if Gunther retires him and it's Michael Cole's the JR of this generation. So for him to be gone like that, it hurts us. But besides that, I mean, he's a commentator, why not just keep him?
It's bizarre.
The only thing that I would add to this is he's had the hearing issues, from the years of commentary and whatnot that he's discussed often. And when it comes to the audio stuff,
Mhm.
That, and by the way, him being a consummate professional, working it into a storyline and not making it directly about that, but about retiring is a classy way. So that to me makes, if he's to the point where overcoming those type of issues and putting on the headset every week is that much, he's done enough in professional wrestling. I think Michael Cole deserves his flowers 100%. And I think it would be a really, really, really pro and cool thing to do if we go that route, actually, for Michael Cole.
I will say this,
to have the real storyline, because he doesn't need to do that, right? If he stepped away, we would give him a microphone in the middle of the ring to talk about that kind of stuff in a heartbeat. But being the consummate professional he is, he's been a great sport about numerous things, right? Yeah. He was the butt of the joke in the Jerry Lawler rivalry. There's no debate.
He certainly was.
Right?
He certainly was.
And he's done it over and over and over again for years. I think he deserves to go out the way that he would want to. And his relationship and friendship with Pat, I think, is really cool. It's a story that could be told. If it's one of those where he's looking to step away due to some of the health related stuff when it comes to the hearing things, I think that is the right way to do it.
My concern about this entire situation, if it did happen, if it did play out, would be it would really kill the mood at WrestleMania. Because usually when something sad happens, it's a commentator's job to kind of pick it back up. And if on the middle of the card or in the co-main event, whenever it is, right, Michael Cole, Pat McAfee loses and Michael Cole has to stand up from the commentary booth, put the headset down and just walk away. That is going to kill the mood for the entirety of the rest of the show.
Point.
Oh, actually,
That's
not a bad
such a
idea.
very good point. I wonder if you have because then what do you have? Corey Graves come down and pick up the headset?
It would
How do you
just
do it?
be, what's his name? Tessitore.
It would just be Tess and
Joe.
and. But I mean, what do you do the rest of the
Graves,
show?
whatever.
That's what's interesting when it comes to the commentary team.
They'd be okay, but it's just I feel like everyone would be bummed out because they're like, I
It
miss
would
Michael
be
Cole
such
already.
a bummer watching him walk up the ramp and stuff. Yeah, that would be a huge bummer.
Yeah.
That's actually a
Kill the
good point. I
mood.
didn't really consider that. The idea of just it's a long ramp, no less. By the way, I went to last year's.
That is a long ramp.
They
Yeah,
need
you're
It's
to
a
wrong.
long walk for Michael Cole.
They have to keep the camera on him the entire time, just walking slowly up the
son.
ramp.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and then just have Tessitore just come out and walk past him.
Yeah.
That
Shake
is
his hand.
gut-wrenching.
Shake his hand. Be like, thanks.
Oh, that would be absolutely brutal. But I will say, brilliant heel heat. Brilliant heel heat.
Oh, it
But
would
I
be
just,
crazy. The booze
I
would be
don't know.
actually wild.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Jesse Ventura comes out of retirement for
God.
Cole. I mean, I don't think he can work there a single day without getting in trouble at this point. Fernando doesn't like Jim Ross or Michael Cole in matches, but he thinks that he will never be Jim Ross in WWE. I think it depends on your generation, mind you, because to me, because I've grown up with Michael Cole is a lot more important to me than Jim Ross is. And I understand that's because of the era I grew up in. But that's how it's to me. And I think in 40 years' time, that will be the general consensus because everybody who got with him will be looking back upon him in the same way that people now look back upon Jim Ross.
I think that's totally fair. I think Jim Ross has a special spot in my heart because of my generation growing up. And also, he has literally the same accent as my grandmother. So, I'm just a huge, it's comforting hearing him talk.
Yeah.
And it's so I've always been a JR guy, but I think both are absolute legends and Hall of Famers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we got Davis saying if he finishes the show, it would be the greatest calls of all time. The issue is that you can't have Gunther versus Pat McAfee main event night 1 or night 2 of Mania.
Yeah, you can't. That would have to be night
No
3
way.
of Mania.
Maybe.
Night 3 of Mania.
Night 1 and a
three.
half.
Monday Night Raw.
Night one and a
They'll
half.
do it at the Horseshoe after the Collective.
It's come and see one more match, guys, over at GCW. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. I
They
don't even
changed
think
the
it's
ring
there this year.
aprons. They changed the ring aprons.
Oh,
It's
no.
now a PLE.
I mean, mind you, they did have ID titles being defended there last year, didn't they? On some
Yes,
of
they
the
did.
Yeah, they
collective
did,
shows,
yeah.
So who knows? Who
Multiple.
knows? Right, up next, guys, let's talk about Blake Monroe, shall we? Because Blake Monroe went on the Sam Roberts show and she was asked about being part of the NXT brand. And she basically said how she loves NXT. People run up to her saying they love watching her all the time, blah, 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 blah. But then she goes to talk about something. And keep in mind, this was recorded 2 days after she viewed and hate commented on Clark and Shard's reel. Didn't block Clark, blocked Shard. And then she said this, and she brought this part up herself. I don't know why there's this idea I need to be called up. I'm not in any rush. Like I said, I still have so much to do. I've hardly feuded with any other woman. I mean, Jordan Grace wasted a lot of my time and now Jada Parker is chasing me around. But there are so many women I want to wrestle. I haven't even gone after the main women's title yet. There's so much to do and I definitely don't want to look at it. I haven't even... Oh yeah, that's basically then just repeated herself a little bit. I can't even cut a promo without somebody trying to interrupt me and make a name for themselves. I feel like I'm a title at this point. So yeah, I'm definitely very competitive. Everybody comes from a ton of different backgrounds, mostly sports, so they're animals in there, you know? And the way she said this, she was getting legitimately a little bit like heated and bothered by it too. I genuinely think, Clark, she was probably talking about your reel and your hate towards her. And I've got to say, Clark, she's got a brilliant point. Brilliant point. This is exactly what I mean when I talk about her. She does not need to be rushed up to the main roster. She's doing decent work in NXT. She's going to learn the WWE way. And when she goes up to the main roster, she's going to be a huge star because we know against the pros she can have brilliant matches. But then we will also know she knows how to work the way that WWE wrestlers need to work, something which Jade Cargill, when she first came over, didn't know. So that's why she kept being on and off TV constantly, because she kept having to go down to the PC. This way, Blake Monroe has stayed on TV and learned while doing so. So honestly, Blake, I agree with you. Clark, what's your reaction?
Ooh, I'm in trouble. Come on now. Stop it. If that was a direct response to what I said or the reel or anything like that, that's okay. And everything else about it is okay. Because I actually believe that Mariah May, Blake Monroe, is one of the most talented professional wrestlers on the planet. That's why I said what I said in the first place. That's why Shad said what he said in the first place. No less. Is because we believe there is more to be desired, because we've seen what the ceiling looks like for Blake Monroe, if there even is one. But it hasn't looked like that, so I don't take back anything I said or anything different at all. And yes, I totally agree. There are absolute animals on NXT. She mentioned athletes. Really good ones, in fact. Really good athletes. Yes, there are. But Mariah May stood out amongst a roster of really good athletes and really good professional wrestlers in the past. She's already done it. What we weren't doing was criticizing or saying you're not good. What we're saying is you haven't done as much as you could. That's what was said, to be very clear. So if it was in response, I apologize for feelings being hurt. But hear me out on this. Why don't we give the work that we got when we saw what we know you can be?
That's the thing, though, Clark, honestly, because you kind of did say, you kind of did come across like you were saying that she isn't very good. You said that Toni Storm was carrying her, whatever, right?
I mean, based on this NXT run, sure. In a vacuum, yes, that's what it looked like.
Okay, so who carried her in Stardom? Who carried her when Toni Storm was off TV for 3 months?
Couldn't agree more. Nobody. Hey, wasn't asked about that. Asked about that.
I feel like you guys are directing your hate at the wrong person in that.
There's no hate. No. The hate only goes one direction. There's only one blockage and the coffee cup comment and all of that, right? Nobody hates Blake Monroe on this end. I'll say it first and foremost. I think she's awesome. And I think Shad would agree too. He's the one that got blocked, and I don't understand that. Never have. But
you're the one who destroyed her, and you baked this entire disc cake for her, right? And Shad comes across and just puts a cherry on top, quotes a Toni Storm promo, right? Really, really funny, very harmless, and for some reason he's the one who gets blocked. I can't get my head around it either, right? But it's what happened. I don't know. I really do not. I think it was way too harsh, but at the end of the day, Fernando agrees with you, Clark. He says Clark's criticism is legit and he's doing his job. Blake Monroe has no choice but to say what she said because she left a wrestling company right after being part of one of the greatest wrestling stories ever. And I mean, look, we've also got T6 Wallerting, take notes, Clark and Shard as well. I mean, look, I agree with D6. She is a generational talent for sure, but Davis does stand with you. Of course, Davis was also involved in this just absolute dismallishment.
Dude.
Demolishment? Yeah.
Hey,
That's how you
we'll
say
make
it.
that a word. Don't worry. There's like an
Okay.
application. thing,
Somebody
I think.
call up the Cambridge
Get
Dictionary.
up Webster's.
There you go. Oxford
Oh,
Dictionary.
you're a Cambridge guy. I get it. That's fair.
To be honest with you, I actually use the Oxford Dictionary, but I just said the
Yeah.
wrong one and I ran with it because that is also a thing. They
It
are
is.
both a thing.
It is. They are both dictionaries.
I'm a Webster guy.
Well, I don't know Webster is. We don't know that one.
Webster
United
Dictionary,
States
yeah.
of America, Ben. I don't know if you saw we won the
Yeah, you guys
Olympic gold
you
in
guys
hockey.
can't spell color correctly, so I'm not really gonna start taking English notes off you, am I? I mean,
Or
we are
gray.
literally England.
or gray.
Oh my gosh, honestly. I mean, okay, we got to talk about this too, right? Actually, we're going to talk about it right now. A lot of the reel's made and it hasn't been posted yet. A lot of people are very frustrated with because I don't know if you saw the show on Friday,
I didn't
Clark.
change the graphic.
That's not why.
Which part?
You guys absolutely just completely did the wrong thing.
We
In
got the
terms
letter
of-
B.
You rated Bubba Ray Dudley as the best wrestler with a B in his name and just started doing how
No,
many
we were
Bs
trying
they
to get a
have.
maximum amount of Bs.
Yeah.
But a different game.
Which is not what the game is.
Oh, yeah, because 3
No, there's
Bs.
other games. Well, dude, I
I
mean,
don't
hang
know.
on. Now, are
That's
you
there
being
is-
are you being discriminatory to different types of games? We were trying
The
to go max
question
Bs.
is, who is the best wrestler? And that was not what happened. So we moved on to see on Friday, and we were flooded with comments saying, "Can you please redo Wednesday because they did not take it seriously?" So I think we might have to. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
mean,
know. It's
I'll
made,
do it. Hey, I'll be
made.
there.
but it's very very controversial. That one's for sure.
Hey,
Brie
Stanley
Bella,
Clark is
second
taking
round
off.
pick by Davis too. I like Brie Bella. How is she going before Bailey? How is she going before Booker T? How is she going before Brock Lesnar? Brock Lesnar remaining undrafted in a
two
B
Bs.
wrestlers draft.
2 Bs, Brie Bella.
That's not what you're playing. You're playing who is the
no, but
best
dude,
wrestler.
that's what the game became.
But it already was a series. You guys
It's
came
organic, dude. It evolved. Things evolve.
in.
It
Look at
evolved.
Fernando, representation for games. See,
I don't
onto
know.
something.
I was gonna keep it how it was, to be honest with you. The
It's
reel is
perfect.
made.
Keep it how it was, and then
The
we'll
reel
redo
is.
it.
What we'll do is we'll post it to Instagram tomorrow, or to be honest with you, we might end up doing it today if our
Dude,
Clip
if
sync
you just
still isn't
tally
working.
who had the most Bs, then there's a winner and everything makes sense. Not only that, I left B. Brian Blair on the table. That's 3 Bs.
it is an absolute monstrosity of a list. There is no denying it. There is absolute. I've literally got it up right now. Right.
It's iconic.
You can go Bam Bam Bigelow.
That's a
Yeah,
3 for
sure.
That's 3
So,
Bs.
first round pick, Bubba Ray Dudley. Terrible
Yes,
pick.
a lot of Bs.
That's 3
Second
Bs.
pick, Bob Backlund. Okay. Third pick by Davis. Great shout, Bruno Sammartino.
That's
From
1
here,
B.
it just goes
1B.
off the rails. Brie Bella's up next.
2 Bs.
She shouldn't even be on
2Bs.
this list. Then Brutus the Beefcake.
2 Bs.
Then
That's 2 Bs.
Biggie Langston, which I mean, fair enough on
1B.
that
1
one.
B.
Then Bianca Belair, again, fair
2
enough on
Bs.
that one. Batista, who was saved for the third
1B.
round.
1 B. Bad pick.
Then Bam Bam Bigelow.
That's
Look,
3.
3 Bs. That's
3
3 Bs.
Bs.
Then, I mean, I don't even know. But we got Bobo Brazil, Balls.
I didn't even know that was a
Something.
wrestller. That's
3
3
Bs.
though.
Bobo
3
Brazil.
Bs.
3
Bobo
Bs.
Brazil.
That was me. Yeah.
And then Bull
Okay.
Bakanan. I mean,
Bull
lads,
Buchanan.
what were you
2 Bs.
doing?
That's
Bob
2
Buchanan.
Bs.
Oh yeah.
What were you doing? Anyway,
I
Dude,
applaud the
honestly, it's a
creativity.
close
Move on.
game. If we'd have done the math on who has the most Bs, there is a
but
winner.
that wasn't the game you were playing, right?
Well, it became one.
played the game.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes
Anyway,
you just
let's
gotta
talk.
let things happen.
Let's talk about Tom Brady, shall we? Because he recently was talking about pro wrestling and he called it cute. And that annoyed a lot of people, right? And he was saying it in response to Logan Paul when he first said it. And he was trying to hype up the flag football game with Logan Paul, but he has upset a lot of wrestlers. A lot of people have called him out over the past few days, but Randy Orton has now gone on ESPN this morning and he made a direct statement. He said that he would love to RKO Tom Brady. And Des, if if somebody ever disrespects pro wrestling and calls it cute, I think you should be legally obligated to step into the pro wrestling ring and wrestle a match. Have to learn how to wrestle for that match. I believe Tom Brady, all his legacy, all his career is worthless if he does not do this. I believe literally he has ruined his entire legacy. I believe this guy is no better than, somebody who lives next door to you, right? That's as important of a legacy as he has got right now, as far as I'm concerned, until he steps into the ring. Because if you're going to disrespect it, you got to prove it. Prove it's cute.
Okay, that is interesting. I wasn't expecting to go that way, but honestly, I feel like he has a point. All right, I'm not going to lie. You look at Trick Williams, you look at Roman Reigns, you look at Brock Lesnar, you look at The Rock, and you also look at a guy like Moose. They were football players who did become wrestlers. I understand both sides of the story because Randy Orton's talking from a wrestling standpoint, right? This is his job. This is his passion. This is like what he loves to do. So when the outsider, someone who doesn't wrestle, says something like that, like it's going to affect you because it's something that relates to you personally, right? Where it's like Tom Brady, the guy, all he knows is football, right? I mean, he played football. He had a whole divorce going on, won Super Bowls, broke my team's heart, the whole 9 yards. He has such a connection to football. So with wrestling, it's a bit different. I feel like it's really hard to convince someone who is not a wrestling fan that wrestling is like a legit sport. And it's like, because it is very tiring. These wrestlers, men and women, put their bodies on the line every single week. I know in football, you're actively not trying to get hit, but you're going to get hit hard and injuries happen. In wrestling, it is a bit different, but you can still get hurt. Things do go wrong. So, and also the Randy Orton comment doesn't surprise me. Randy Orton could RKO anybody. He could RKO my own grandma right now. That's just the type of guy that Randy Orton is when it comes to being in a wrestling ring. But now I will ask you guys this. If Tom Brady did wrestle a match, who would it be against and why? Because honestly, I think Tom Brady and Obafemi, I feel like they put on a hell of a match. I'm just saying.
At this point, it has to be Randy Orton because he's talked the talk now.
Fair.
He's got to walk the walk. That is the fact of the matter. And I'm going to be honest, Ez, I disagree with you completely because so many footballers have tried to do professional wrestling and failed, right? Way more have failed than have succeeded. True. It is incredibly, incredibly hard to do.
Of course.
I love Randy Orton, but this is deep-seated resentment, and I understand why. Because the year is 2002. And Tom Brady in week 2 for the New England Patriots fills in for injured Drew Bledsoe, leads that squad to the Super Bowl, and they face the greatest show on turf known as, at the time, as the St. Louis Rams. And they beat them. And they taped their practices. They taped their practices before the Patriots dynasty starts with Tom Brady at the helm. The St. Louis Rams are now known as the Los Angeles Rams. They built a stadium that hosted a WrestleMania. Randy Orton lost a match in at WrestleMania 39. He didn't even have one. He didn't even have a match in the new Rams stadium. They left his hometown of St. Louis, went to LA, built a new place, and he couldn't even wrestle there. This goes all the way back to that. I think he needs to RKO Tom Brady tomorrow. Find him wherever he is. I don't need it on WWE television. I don't need it if he's at the gym doing he's working with bands doing the TB12 system. Just get him. Just get him. Take the assault charge, Randy. Get that receipt because he owes you one. He owes you one. They taped those practices. They taped those practices.
Screw the RKO. use the punt, says DC.
Yeah, punt him.
That is disgraceful.
That is
sorry, Tom. TB12.
He also says, plus pro wrestling doesn't have helmets and fake football does. I mean, I know. Real football doesn't have helmets either.
Yeah, but you guys don't,
why would you need a helmet when you're playing with a ball with your feet?
You guys bonk heads.
Well, I mean, for alignment, it's
significantly less often
heads,
with each other.
Well, then why is it called
the
football?
Ball header.
I don't know why it's called football, to be honest with you.
It shouldn't be called football. Everybody unanimously agrees that it should not actually be called football, right? It was a stolen name, and it is not. It doesn't fit the football name as much as the real football does.
Soccer's
it just doesn't.
Go, Johnny, go.
I mean, it's the most viewed sport in the
best
world.
at selling.
I do like soccer. I'm not gonna lie.
They are the best
Football.
at selling.
Football, true.
Football.
European football,
Soccer.
football,
I'll say it.
No, it's football.
footy ball.
It is, right? Oh gosh. Right, anyway, guys, let's now this is just downright disrespectful, Donnie.
Okay.
Look at the best
I
at football. They are literally the best athletes on this planet in
No,
terms of what they have
that's
to do.
not
They are.
true.
They are. They
To an
are.
extent.
No, those are gymnasts.
No. They are.
Mm-mm.
They are.
Well, how come no
Interesting.
soccer players ever wanted a decathlon? Whoops.
They have.
Wait, what?
Which one? Google it.
Tons of
Oh, yeah, I do that.
I'm not gonna
tons of
ruin the
people
last
who've been in
second.
the Olympics doing. I can't remember names. I don't know, but
All
tons of
kinds of
the ones who
soccer
represented
guys.
us in the Olympics were former low-down football players.
But they weren't very good. at
I'm sure they.
soccer. So they
Why
had to
would you
pick-
do both? You got to
decathlon.
dedicate your life to something.
Yeah,
You don't
hour
even know
jog.
it. An
Yeah,
hour
NBA
jog.
players.
I mean,
Fernando.
endurance,
don't even
endurance
know
is
it.
important,
Fernando.
though.
Yay, 90
No.
plus 6. That's like an hour and a half, I guess.
Yeah.
About an hour and a
It's
half.
longer than that usually, right?
It's like
It
driving to Santa
absolutely
Barbara.
is. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Let's talk about Trick Williams. Trick Williams has been doing a little bit of a media tour the last couple of days, and flipping heck, this guy is good at it. The hosts on all these shows absolutely love him. He looks like a star. He feels like a star. I said the other day he's LA Knight, but better, younger, brighter future, and that is looking more true by the day. Now, what I did not expect was Trick Williams to do a good job this early on the main roster. He's looking great in the ring, great on the mic, great in general. He's now doing media. He's fantastic at media. So you know what? Screw it. Have him win Money in the Bank. And have him win a world championship sometime next year. Have him carry the briefcase for quite a while, right? Don't immediately give him the title. But by 2027, give him a world title reign. Why not? Des, I want to get your thoughts on this topic.
All right. Before I get into my thoughts, I have to issue an apology. I'm going to be the bigger man. Shad said that Trick Williams was going to be the next Rock. He was going to be one of the biggest stars. I said Austin Theory was going to be in that same category, but the problem is I fed too much to the pressure. But now it's undeniable that it's the lemon pepper that's better, because the lemon pepper stepping. Let's talk about it. Trick Willie Williams is taking the WWE by storm. You can take your Ethan Page, you can take your Rick Saints. Ain't none of them matter to Trick Willie, because right now he is one of the most undeniable wrestlers in WWE. The guy isn't even on the show, and he's getting chants. Whether it's the women wrestlers or the men wrestlers, not to be disrespectful, but just say like Becky and AJ, they had they were talking, and then the crowd was chanting, "Whoop that Trick." Every time the guy comes on, it's a massive pop, no matter what he does. And this guy's a heel. He's a heel that just came into the main scene. He was $1 million in NXT. You knew how good he was. Of course, being TNA champion, he was a heel. He was a face. The guy stepped onto the main roster, and he's $1 billion. He has the look. He has the persona. He can wrestle good. He can talk. He is the whole 9 yards, man. Like, utmost respect to Trick Williams, where I always knew the guy was going to be a star, but like you said, Ben, to the capacity of how big he is. He's doing media nowadays. Like, it's truly unbelievable. I really couldn't be more proud, and it's undeniable, man. Trick Willie, he's just that guy.
Absolutely. And there does seem to be a tendency nowadays to take too long to actually push talent on the main roster once they've been called up from NXT. And I understand why, I do. But sometimes you just got to push a guy. Obafemi is one of those names. Trick Williams, I also think now is proved in the short few weeks he's had, he is one of those names as well. Bron Breakker, obviously they have pushed straight away, but even that is fairly slow. I'd get a world title and a WWE title on both Trick and Obafemi sometime before Mania 2027. I really, really would. I wouldn't have Trick going into Mania as champion necessarily, but I do think he should have a world title reign this year. Doesn't need to be a long one, but I do agree with Mateo. Both him and Oba do need to hold major titles this year. Clark, what's your perspective?
Truly, Trick's pure charisma is something that's like totally fascinating to me, because that was the narrative the entire time he was on Tuesday nights, was like, oh man, he's so charismatic and he keeps getting better and better. And you see him alongside Mello, and then he's in the championship picture, and he's having longer and better matches and all of that. And the gear always looked good. The look was there on the microphone. There was no denying there was something with Trick Williams. I don't know what it is, but everything about him fits the main roster better, like a glove. As soon as he was called up, you can't stop talking about him. And it's really cool to me because I think it goes back to what I said before here. He improves seriously every time he's out there. Like, he's working at it. I can't fathom that Trick Williams isn't watching his own tape as much as anybody else, right? He's treating this like he treated his football career. He's treating this like an athlete, where he's watching tape and he's learning what works and what doesn't, because he keeps pushing the right buttons every single time on SmackDown. It's really, really impressive. And I really love what Donnie just said in the comments too, because I was going to say something very similar here, but it's a better analogy than the one that I had. So I will pull it up. He said, Trick is like Michael Jordan. He wasn't the best player in college, but at the next level, he's the man. That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel about it. I was going to say LaDainian Tomlinson was actually the example I was going to use. Kind of random. I was going TCU and then unbelievable running back, which my co-hosts wouldn't get. At least Michael Jordan, the world gets. So, but I didn't want to, not throw out the analogy that I had in the pocket there. But if you know LT, it's similar deal. Trick is just that good in my eyes, though. And I think 100,000% Money in the Bank, Trick in the Bank, all of that. Everything that he's done since he's been on the main roster has been entertaining and looked outstanding. I think the ceiling's higher than I even anticipated before the call up.
1000%, because at first, like you said, when he was with Melo, we didn't necessarily have high expectations for him. And then, of course, you had that NXT title reign. You were like, okay, this guy is probably going to be an upper mid-card star, maybe a main eventer if things go well, who knows. But then, and this is a great comment from Donnie as well, he went to TNA, and that's what really elevated him. And at the time, I was kind of thinking to myself, surely they are taking a while to call him up right here. But it was for the best, undeniably now. But even still, I did not expect him to get this over this fast and be this good, because he's wrestling better than he was in NXT as well, right? We knew he was good on the mic, but he's come, there's no nerves, there's nothing. It's so impressive. And again, the media thing, both AEW and WWE have too many wrestlers who aren't good with media. Trick Williams has come along, right? And he's like, I can be that guy. I don't know if Bron Breakker can be that guy. I think Obafemi to a degree could be that guy, but I think Trick Williams is the guy when it comes to media and wrestling in the future.
I agree.
I totally agree. I think that's one of the most brilliant things about him too, is he's calculated but intentional, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't come across as he's holding back. It's his delivery, all that comes with that, and it's just the pure charisma. Like, there's something there, right? You can just tell the look in his eyes. He takes himself seriously, and that matters. It bleeds through the screen, right? Like, he believes in himself, and that comes through in not like a campy way, where you see that at other times, which other times that works too. But with Trick, it's confidence. It's borderline cockiness, but there is a true level of confidence there that I think separates him in a really positive way.
Yeah, I agree.
I could not agree with you more there, Clark. But Donnie says that NXT isn't setting their guys up for main roster success. There's too much no-selling and too much having every spot planned. Now Trick is able to work and feel the crowd, and he's better. HBK needs to adjust. I mean, look, we are maybe going to have a conversation about that, because it was the same issue with NXT Black and Gold. They were not designing wrestlers for the main roster, and I believe this current version of NXT does it a lot better. But even still, that could well be a fair point. I mean, Clark, you watch it on a weekly basis.
I mean, here's the thing. I do actually completely understand where he's coming from. I think we're in such a turnover period that we weren't having as much of that even in like Trick's prime of his run. Like, his later NXT run wasn't as good as a year ago, if that makes any sense. Yeah. And so I hear where you're coming from. I think we're also a little bit stuck in the mud on there's so much turnover. We've got to
That
figure
is
out what the
true,
new
yeah.
what the new like baseline feels like.
I don't
Right.
agree with this comment. They've gone away from the AEW style. NXT Black and Gold was the AEW style, and
Yeah.
they've gone away from that now, for sure. I mean, maybe they're starting to go a little bit more in that direction, sure, but they went away from it when HBK first took over. Also, a comment here from Travis Calvin saying, Sporting Kansas City is the biggest football club in the world. Isn't that the
Shout out
MLS.
DJ Hayden. DJ Hayden's the DJ for Sporting
I think it's-
KC.
It is MLS, right?
That's the
Shout out
yeah,
DJ Hayden. That's my
Okay,
cousin.
respectfully, fantastic work there, but respectfully, there's no metric in the world where you can claim
No.
that's the biggest football
No,
club.
but no. I think he was just shouting out. I'm wearing a KU shirt.
Shout out to KU.
fair.
That's why.
Um,
That was he's
Yeah.
he's a Kansas guy. That's Ben. Like I think he knows.
well, that, guys,
Yeah.
does bring us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for tuning in and commenting along throughout. If you haven't checked out this week's Wrestling Republic weekly podcast, please do so. We have a really, really great episode. It does get heated at times between all of us, as always it does, but it was really, really fun. So please make sure to check that out when you get the chance as well. And there was a comment earlier, which I'm trying to find right now. I cannot find it. Here it is. DCX
No,
Warlord,
that's
excellent CWC 2026 fantasy video, Ben. Thank you very much, DCX
Good one.
Warlord. I appreciate it. And thank you to everybody for the support on it. I'm blown away by the amount of likes on that video. Really, really am. But we will be back same time, same place tomorrow, guys. Bye.